and it's a great song. I enjoyed coming to this prom all these years, and I always remember the first time I came here was to be on my own and be a great person, and I'm glad to sponsor for Cheryl and Rob to put together these events. I'm so honored and glad to be here, and thank you for letting me be here. I'm so happy to be around you guys. Thank you, Cheryl.
Amazing. Justin is the best, and he told me that he would like to play A Night to Remember that song. So I had to, of course, go download it, make sure it was playing when you walked up. And I also, Justin and I hung out, we went and spoke to the La Jolla Rotary Club recently. He was a rock star. And I was telling him on our car ride that, I need to get balloons. Justin works at Party City here in Otay Ranch, and he was so sweet to call me and let me know balloons are on
Aisle 1.
Yes. So I am going to aisle 1 to get some balloons this week. All right. Justin, hang out with us here for a minute. I'm going to welcome your mom. Do you want to introduce your mom?
Wait, whoa. We're forgetting something. So during the break, I asked Justin if he was going to do the Dougie, and he said, no way. I said, I won't ask you to do the Dougie if you don't ask me to do the Dougie, but he wanted to do something instead.
I would like to do the Gangnam Style move. By Rob.
That is right, and I even have a picture of Justin from his first year of the Night to Remember prom. There you are, look how, 5 years ago, amazing. So it has just been fun to get to know him and his family. So now, would you like to introduce your mother?
I'd like to introduce my mom, Charlene Hall. She puts a lot of effort into donating money for Down syndrome, and the president of the Down Syndrome Association, Buddy Walk. Hello, my mom, Charlene Hall.
He never ceases to amaze. Well, I had a couple of thoughts, a little different tack, because as a parent, things are very different when you're given this diagnosis. And I don't know how many of you know of the poem. I'm not going to read it. We really don't have time. But it's by Emily Pearl Kingsley, and it talks about, it's called Welcome to Holland. And she talks about having a baby. And when you are expecting to go to Italy, it's kind of like that. You're expecting, wonderful food and Michelangelo and the Colosseum, and then you get there a few hours later and they tell you, welcome to Holland. And you say, but wait, I didn't sign up for Holland. I wanted to go to Italy. I'm packed for Italy. I have all the guidebooks. And they say, well, you're here and you're here to stay. And so the gist of it is that you learn that Holland is not some filthy, pestilent-ridden place. Holland has tulips, Holland has windmills, and Holland has Rembrandts. For you students, that's a famous Renaissance painter, Rembrandt. So this prom for me has become kind of my Rembrandt and my tulips. And I can't tell you the feeling when I walked in this auditorium about 2 or 3 years ago, because we've been to every prom so far. I signed up very early, the very first time I heard about it, and I walked in here and I saw all of you, and I got tears in my eyes because I felt like you were here for me. You weren't just here for Justin. I know the students, I know that's really why you're here and you want to have a great time. You will have a blast, believe me. But as a mom, I thought, you're here for me. You're here because you're here for me. I don't even know how else to say it. And it was very emotional. And I just cannot tell you how thankful I am to Cheryl and Rob and all of their work, their family, their children are adorable. They help and do amazing things at your house, I know. And I was just thinking about the word identity and how, when I was your age, thinking of the students here, our identity, you're a daughter, a son, I was a daughter, a granddaughter, a cousin, a niece, a student, a Christian, and then you go through life and your identity changes, and I became a wife and a mother. And on becoming a mother, I got to go to Italy a couple times. I actually landed there. But then on February 21st, 1994, I went to Holland. And I wrote a little poem which was part of our birth announcement, and I won't get into the details of, you know, how tall and how much he weighed, 9'4". But I said this to everybody that we knew, and it just says, he's a special baby. God knows how so. You see, he was born with Down syndrome. We face a road ahead we've never walked before. We pray for God's grace and the strength to endure. He is our precious boy, and one thing we're sure of, all we can give him is unconditional love. What we ask from you, our dear family and friends, is to love him along with us as we sought to emotionally mend. We need your support as never before. As a whole new world, we must learn and explore. And at that point in time, I said, already, dear Justin has brought us such joy. When we look at his face, we see God's perfect little boy, man now. Our